Afternoon, intuitives. I want to get into a topic that I'm sure, sadly, most people on this channel understand. And that is if you're in a narcissistic dynamic, specifically a narcissistic family, that people are rooting for you to fail. They want to keep you in the worst position possible. They want to keep you beaten down and subservient to their twisted status quo. I'm going to get into why that is and give some examples from my life and see what everybody thinks. I'm sure viewers on this channel have similar stories, and that's what this channel is about, to share our examples of what happened to us and to validate each other, and for us to know that it wasn't just us, sadly, that these things happen to, and to help others recognize the patterns in similar types of abusers. So, narcissists believe that they have the right to control everybody's life. Like, they try to rob you of your free will. You're just a pawn on their chessboard for them to move as they see fit. You have no free will. You're just an extension of that narcissist, sort of like a trophy for them to use and bring out whenever they want. You're not entitled to your own wants, your own beliefs, your own desires, emotions, sense of purpose. You only exist to make the narcissist look good. As I was told constantly as a child, you're a reflection on me. It didn't matter what the fuck I wanted to do. It just mattered if, my mother could stand in a spotlight and receive praise and admiration, because that she gets off on that shit. And probably, I don't know for a fact, but that's probably why I don't like being the center of attention. I don't like being in the spotlight. I know I'm an introvert too, but I'm saying I specifically hide from the spotlight about as much as I can, unless it's in a rare event where I feel like I'm, going to do some good by coming out of the shadows. So they don't want us to have what we want, and they'll root against you. And I'm sure most people, we've had friends and stuff in normal families where your peers were supported in whatever their endeavors were. I mean, I know friends of mine that were supported in trying to pursue acting careers, which is notoriously hard to break into. Whereas, I at 18 was pursuing a career as a professional firefighter, and my family's reaction was basically like, my chances were about as good as if I was trying to like break into Hollywood. And by the way, I did get hired at 19. Things, happened that with that class, but I was given an offer. I made it through the process, which they said I'd never do. And how would they know anyway? It's a big point too. They'll tell you how you're wrong, even if it's like a topic. We'll just stick with a job. If it's a job field you're looking to go into, and you know what you have to do to get what you want, and you're doing those steps, the narcissist will tell you that you can't do it, even if they don't know what's required of you. They'll use their infamous "I just know" powers and say, nah, you're never gonna make that. Like, how can you do that? That's not for you. And they want to keep you in something low paid and something that you may view as degrading. I think I've mentioned it before. My family, since I was 16 years old, has been utterly obsessed with me doing like landscape work. And, it's one thing when you're a young kid doing like a summer job, it pays, oh, it used to pay okay money back then. And your options are pretty limited when you're a teenager, or if you're, college kid working a summer job, whatever. But it's never something I enjoyed. I always despised it. The hours suck. The pay's terrible. You're treated like a fucking servant. There was no sense of fulfillment in it for me. I always wanted to help people. I didn't feel I was helping anybody by spraying a bunch of poisonous chemicals all the time. No, it's just you're there to make the narcissist, to serve the narcissist. It's like I've said before, particularly with boomer narcs, is those of us born after 1964, they view us as just second-class citizens that exist only to serve them. So if you're male, they want you like as a landscaper or a pool guy, or a car detailer. Younger females, they want you as like a waitress or a bartender, or someone in like the the exotic strip industry for them to exploit and take advantage of, because your only existence is to serve them, do what you're told, and not say no, because they're the new aristocracy. Because by and large, from what I found, and again, I'm not saying it's every baby boomer, I'm talking about baby boomers who are also narcissistic. So the crossover of those two groups, they truly believe, from what I've observed, in my opinion, that everything that they've done is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like, they are the top of the pyramid. They are, insurpassable. That just by virtue of them being them, that anything they've done cannot be outdone, and everything they've done is the greatest thing ever because they were the ones who do it, and the things they say are automatically right because they are the ones who are saying it, and they're have infallibility that would make Pope Francis jealous. It's crazy. It really is. It's tough to explain, and I know other people on here have seen that. So if you're pursuing something that's going to free you of that dynamic, either give you the financial stability you want, give you the sense of purpose that you want, have it so you're not working 7 days a week, or the big one, if it's going to get you out of the area from them to where you can go no contact, as which mine always would have from day one, because I live in a corrupt county in Pennsylvania that thinks it's still 1910, and everything is, they're proudly using an outdated method that every other state got rid of in the 50s, and they're still proudly the good old boys club here, and they'll tell you that that's the way it's supposed to be. Old boys forever, and don't you question them. I have since I was a teen, so that made me an obvious scapegoat, because those that are benefiting from a corrupt, inclusive system, last thing they want is for somebody to be beating the drum and telling anybody who will listen about it and exposing it. That's me. It's always been me. That's a big part of being an INFJ. That sense of integrity that we feel, even if it'll be detrimental to us, that we have to speak the truth. We have the duty to tell the truth and to try to change the system to keep what happened to us to happening to other people. And when you really get to the heart of that, isn't that sick as shit how they want things to stay the same so more people can face abuse if they'll benefit from it? And it's the other thing with the narcissist wanting you to fail. If you go no contact and you get away from them, they can't get their narcissistic supply off of you, and they can't siphon off of you. As most narcissists believe, what's in it for me? If you're out of their life, doing well away from them, in different state, different country even, there's nothing in it for them. Nothing at all. Just like my narcissistic family, they're hoping very much that my civil case fails, because they know they'll never see a dime of any potential settlement I may receive. They know once I have that, given everything, I've been through with them, and given everything I was subjected to down in Virginia, that I get that, I'm out of here. And when I mean out of here, as I've said before, I'm thinking like Ireland or the UK. I haven't decided which one yet, but those are the realistic places where I can start over and potentially still seek employment as a firefighter outside the reach of the IAFF union, which is United States and Canada. And also, I've wanted to visit those places practically all my life, because I'm a history nerd and a bit of an amateur historian, and there's a lot of historic sites in both those countries, not to mention the museums that I've wanted to go to my whole life. So might as well do that, right? And they don't know anybody there, and I love that. I love the fact that they don't have any flying monkeys there. They can't drive there. The different time zones. It costs money to call. It's beyond their reach. It's beyond their reach, and it's also a more progressive society that really appeals to me too. So that's what I'm looking to do. But they will continue, in general, to scapegoat you as long as you're, quote, defying them. They view you not doing like what they pre-planned for you to do as defiance. Like, Not, like I said, you have no free will. They want, if they say you do this job and you live here and you date this person and it's just what you do. That's how it's always been. You're just supposed to blindly fall in line to that because they said it. Like, just that's how much control they want to exert over you. And the more you defy that, the more they'll come after you. I think, this is my opinion, because if you achieve that success you want and you get away from them, they fear that you're going to expose them on the way out. I know I will. So they fear their dirty laundry being aired from someone who they've abused, most likely for decades, with decades worth of stories to tell, who now has financial stability or a sense of purpose, can easily go no contact and never look back. What are they going to do? That's just about their worst nightmare. So you're pursued as a scapegoat, not just because you're an easy target, because you're an introvert or you have a hard time saying no, but because your integrity compels you to do the right thing and they fear that you'll do that, and your intuition allows you to see through them. So the narcissist, then, like I said, will use any tactic they can to make sure that you fail at whatever you do. My advice to that is, if you're planning on making a big change in life, don't tell them. Just quietly go ahead and do it. Do not let them know about it until documents are signed and you're on your way out the door. Then expose them on your way out, and that'll be how you get not only your validation but justice for yourself and for any other potential victims of the narcissist. And they shouldn't be able to, at least as easily, abuse any others after that. But I, like, with as much as I've read and reflected, it still hurts my mind to think that, like, people get off on keeping other people down, particularly, like in a family dynamic that they're related, simply because the individual is exerting their free will. And a lot of times you're trying to do something noble. Like, I'm talking about people, obviously myself, I wanted to be a professional firefighter, but I know people who faced similar actions from their family, who wanted to be like physical therapists, who wanted to be nurses, things like that, wanted to work for nonprofits and do something where they felt like they would have some meaning and be part of the greater good, as opposed to just doing some job that they hated, that the narcissist wanted them to do because they wanted them to stay in a certain area so they could control them, or because that job paid a certain amount of money. And as you know, with narcissists, happiness is stuff. So all you need is money. Money is all you need, because you can buy anything. And the best part of having money as a narcissist is to tell other people that you have money. Look what I have. Look what I have. Look at all my stuff. And they think that makes them a great person. The boomers had the bumper sticker that was popular in the 80s, whoever dies with the most toys wins. Yeah. So that just means for a narcissist, that just means when they die, someone's got to clean more shit out of their house. That's it. Don't worry about what the narcissist says. If you value human connections, a sense of purpose, and emotions over all else, if you're at a job where you feel like you're doing some good and you're making enough money to survive, don't worry about what the narcissist or anybody else says. They want you miserable. They want to keep you at your lowest. They want you just dancing to their tune and being their puppet, their pawn, because to them you don't have free will. You're not your own person. You're just a tool to be used by them. And understand that that's what they're trying to do, and understand that by you exerting your free will, you're not doing anything wrong. You have every right to want to live where you want to live, do what you want to do, and get away from them if you want. Best in luck to all of you who are in the process of doing any of those things. As always, never sell out your integrity. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep making videos if you feel like watching them.